Right. I'd like to call the January 2026 Committee on Accreditation meeting to order. Ms. Bernardo, if you could please call the roll.
Addison Leggett,
Here.
Augustin Cervantes, Ann Jones, Patrick McKee,
Here.
Alan Hallis,
Here.
Mike Hillis,
Here.
Malika Bryant,
Here.
Juliana Sykes,
Here.
Bonnie Campbell, Jessica Vagonovich,
Here.
Michelle Hall,
Here.
Patricia Pernin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And also, we'd like to welcome to the Committee on Accreditation, Dr. Patricia Pernin from Los Angeles Unified School District. Dr. Pernin was appointed by Executive Director Mary Vixie Sandy to complete the term vacated by Katrine Chakowski. So from now until June 30th. So welcome, Dr. Pernin. Would you like to take a moment just to introduce yourself and share a few words?
Absolutely. I'm Patricia Pernin and I'm from Los Angeles Unified School District. As you said, I've been in this business for about 16 years and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. I'm absolutely thrilled. And I'm absolutely thrilled that I was able to start a lot of new programs, and I was absolutely thrilled the fact that we do, and I have to say it all the time, that we have the new nurse clear credential, and I'm just really happy. It's opening it up for other programs as well. Thank you.
Well, glad to have you here. As you all know, Dr. Pernin is a familiar face. We've seen her on the other side presenting many a times. So welcome to being on this side of, and I definitely appreciate your commitment to the field and to educator prep. So glad to have you here, and we'll all show you the ropes along the way as we talk about different things. Feel free to check in with all of us. So with that, this meeting, as we all know, is conducted in a hybrid fashion. All members are here in person. Other participants, such as institutional representatives and team leads, and some staff will be attending virtually, while others will be here present in person. The Zoom link and a toll-free number have also been made available to the public. As a reminder for everybody here, the meeting room in this building has built-in microphones, speakers, cameras, and monitors, and we're continuing to experience glitches in the system, so we ask for your continued patience. And just as a reminder, especially since you're new in this room, we're always live on microphones, so they can hear all of our conversations and side conversations. So we just want to remind everyone to please be aware that everything's being captured and recorded. If you could keep any side conversations to a minimum, if at all, while you're in this room. And then we'll mute the room during breaks, but please also, if you have any informal conversations, maybe step out into the hallway would be best. For Zoom identification for those of you on Zoom, we'd like to ask that everyone check their Zoom ID and make sure it contains your first and last name accurately, so we're able to call you in and appropriately, and also so that we can get all the names accurately recorded into our meeting minutes. If you need to update your name, what you'll do is click on the three dots in the window with your picture to bring up the rename option. When it is time to take up an item, we'll need a moment to bring the appropriate virtual attendees into the main Zoom meeting room and make sure that we can see and hear the committee and we can see and hear them. Participants will need to turn on their camera and unmute their microphones. For public comment, participants who are attending in person, individuals who would like to make a public comment will be needing to complete a public comment card to indicate that item that you would like to speak on and provide it to the meeting organizer. The meeting organizer will call this speaker at the time the agenda item is being presented. If you are participating via Zoom, individuals who join the meeting via Zoom will need to click the raise the hand icon if you would like to speak on an item. Staff will notify the individual when it is their turn to speak by calling the name listed on the Zoom ID used by the member of the public when logging into the meeting. At that time, the individual will be prompted to unmute their microphones and will be able to share their comment. If you are participating via teleconference, individuals joining via the US toll-free number will need to press *9 on their phone to inform the meeting moderator that they would like to speak on an item. The meeting moderator will notify the individual as their turn to speak by calling the last four digits of their phone number and will allow them to unmute their telephone. At that time, the individual will be prompted to press *6 and we'll be able to share their comment at that time. There's also a time designated for general public comments. At the end of the meeting, public comments will be restricted to 2 minutes. So a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. After the meeting ends, the archived audio and video will be available on the Commission's website. And for all of our committee members here, when it is time to make your motions, if you could please state the motion in full So there's no question to what the motion is, and the documentation on what's being recommended is inside all the paperwork provided by the CTC. So using that language sometimes is helpful. Sometimes it's a long motion, but we want to make sure we accurately capture all that information. When we have a member participating via technology, we're required to do a roll call vote, but I don't think we have that today, correct?
Right.
All right, that's good. So with that, do any of our committee members have any questions about these protocols or about voting? We still will do some items, but I just want to thank Michelle Bernardo at the onset of the meeting. I've asked her if there's a way that we could get a timeline for our meeting, and you've been provided with a timeline of what the meeting will look like for today. And thank you, Michelle. I know this is an add-on for members of the public. This is also added onto the virtual agenda as well on the estimated times that we're going to be meeting. We do want to give everyone an opportunity to speak. So anyone that's speaking today that we're calling in, we're going to give institutions up to 3 minutes to speak because we do need to keep to we have a full agenda. And not that we're going to silence any voices, but we think if everyone had guidance on when we have somebody in the wings waiting to come in, it will help us to really move the meeting along if there's no additional information that we need to make decisions. So thank you. I hope you guys find this helpful of kind of the structure of today and what Jessica and I will be doing to try to guide the meeting and move it forward. So thank you, Michelle, for those added layers of support for all of us. So with that, we would like to begin by welcoming 2 new consultants joining the Division of Standards, Accreditation, and Workforce Investment. If we could please welcome Dr. Susan Olson and Dr. Michelle Fennell, and we'll share a little bit about them. Are they here in person? Awesome. Come to the table, welcome. We're going to share a little bit about you and get to know who you are. So welcome to the VIP chairs right here in front of us. I get the honor of introducing Dr. Susan Olson. She joined the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing on January 5th, 2026. She brings 26 years of experience in California education across K-12, higher education, and statewide policy roles. Most recently, Dr. Olson served in the Teacher and Leader Policy Office with the California Department of Education, where she was the lead consultant for California's National Board Certification Incentive Program, overseeing legislative implementation, funding, and coordination in partnership with the Commission, National Board, CTA, and local educational agencies. Her professional background includes service as a high school English and reading teacher, an elementary school principal, director of program development for a district-based teacher intern school of education, and adjunct faculty in the single subject credential program at CSU Sacramento. Dr. Olson holds a doctorate in education and public policy and brings deep expertise in educator preparation, workforce policy, grant management, and cross-agency collaboration. So first, welcome, Dr. Susan Olson. Did you want to share a few words?
Great, thank you. I'm also local to Sacramento. I live in Fair Oaks with my husband, Olaf. And we have a blended family. We have a 25-year-old and a 17-year-old who's at Bella Vista High School. And I'm really excited to be here. I've been very passionate about teachers and teacher development. And so I'm excited for this new role. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
And I have the privilege of welcoming Michelle Fennell. Is that how you say your last name? Perfect. She began her career in Elk Grove Unified School District, where she spent 23 years as an elementary teacher, multilingual instructional coach, and site administrator. In addition to her site work, Michelle provided induction support to new teachers, coached interns, and taught English language development courses for credential candidates at Sac State and the Sacramento County Office of Education. After her time at Elk Grove Unified, Ms. Fennell spent 3 wonderful years as a consultant in the Curriculum Frameworks and Instructional Resources Division at the California Department of Education. Her passion for teacher education and development has led her to the commission. She looks forward to doing her part to ensure California students have well-prepared and passionate teachers in our classrooms. Outside of work, Ms. Fennell enjoys spending time with her family, especially her little boy, Ian, who is set to start his educational journey in transitional kindergarten in the fall, as mom begins her new education journey as a parent. Hey, well, welcome. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. I I really feel lucky to have landed here where like my passions and work intersect. And obviously I have a really strong reason for wanting really good educators in our school. It's funny, schools, it's funny how when you suddenly have a little baby that you're about to send to public school, it means a lot. And so I'm looking forward to my work here.
Well, welcome. We're grateful to have you.
So welcome to both of you. Thank you.
May I just take advantage of the moment a little bit? So in addition to Kiyomi Meeker, who's here in the room, and Elizabeth De Los Santos that we brought on last August, who you met in October, if you were here for that. The addition now of Susan and Michelle is really starting to fill in some critical vacancies that we had. When we lose staff like Karen Sacramento and Gay Roby, there is a moment where we all go, oh my God, how are we going to fill those positions? And you don't immediately fill positions that are vacated by folks who've been with you for decades. But being able to bring on people that have the knowledge and expertise that these 4 new consultants have is such a relief. And they do fill critical roles and they bring new expertise and new experience, which is always an advantage. So I, for one, am just thrilled to be able to welcome the 2 of you and have this cohort now as sort of 4 new consultants in the division, and be filling those vacancies is so important for us. So we're as thrilled to have you here as you say you are to be with us. And hopefully that'll be a good team.
It's nice to have new people along with us too. It's been cool.
Great. So welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody.
It's also wonderful to hear about your personal commitments to education as well as your professional commitments to education. I think many people share that collective thought process. So thank you. As we move on to item number 2, it's our approval of today's agenda. Just a couple of comments about the agenda. You'll notice that the program approvals, items 6 and 20, are in 2 parts because there are a number of them today. We'll do 4 this morning and the rest this afternoon. And if we need time, we'll ask staff to postpone the staff reports until sometime later in the day. So we're going to kind of navigate that one and move it around. Most likely it'll be before or after lunch, depending upon how the morning goes. And so with that, and then you also, again, have the agenda, our proposed timeline for today. We just wanted to see if we have a motion to approve our proposed agenda for today's meeting. Now we have Member Hall.
Move to approve today's agenda.
Do we have a second? We have second from Dr. Pernin. And all those in favor, if you could please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Excellent way to start the day. All right, so now we're going to go into the minutes of the prior meeting. This is item number 3. And we want to see if we have a motion to approve the minutes from the October 2025 meeting. And just a quick note, it would be appropriate for any committee member not in attendance at that meeting to abstain. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the prior meetings? Member Hallis?
I move to approve the minutes from the prior meeting.
Do we have a second? I heard Member Hall first. Member Hillis came up at the same time. We'll say Member Hall. And do we have anyone with any recommendations for corrections or changes?
I have a
Member
question.
Perrin? Yeah.
So I noticed that there were 2 institutions that had major stipulations. One of them, it listed the major stipulations and the other it did not. Is there an area of consistency with that?
There should be. So we can, if you want to add that to your motion, we can add that to the officially to the minutes. We'll add those.
Okay,
Yeah.
so CSU Channel Island, the major stipulations were listed, and Los Angeles Pacific University had major stipulations, but they were not listed.
Okay.
And I noticed that too, Member Bryant, and I appreciate you sharing that. One of the thoughts in my mind of the why possibly was because I know we had conversations about that, but I do think it's good course to say for one for all to keep it that same way. So does that mean we need to modify the motion to include that, or is that just?
I think you could just say with that suggested change to add
Perfect.
in the stipulations for LA Pacific.
And since Member Hallis, you're good with the modification of that?
Yes, I would like to approve the minutes from the prior meeting with the added modification to LA Pacific.
And you're still good on your second? Okay, very good. So now with that being said, and thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
With that, any other corrections, changes? Seeing none, all in favor with that, with the modification, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And anyone abstaining? So we have a member Pernin and member Leggett were abstaining. Excellent. Thank you so much for that. It carries. With that, now we are moving to item number 4 is our co-chair and member reports, an opportunity for any of our members to share anything they like to with the committee. I just want to begin just to thank you all for your hard work. For those of you who are on our committee in 2025, co-chair Frelly and I had an opportunity to present to the commission in December. And as always, and I actually think Dr. Pernin was in the audience, the commission just very much honors the work that we do here with sincere appreciation. It was an honor to share the work that we did, but also to hear the positive reception from the commission of the hard work that goes on behind the scenes from all of you, but also the extensions of the appreciation to the CTC that helps us navigate this work. So that was definitely wonderful to be able to share in December. And it acknowledges everything that we do here. And also I want to extend, and member Brian, if you'd like to share anything, we had an amazing statewide induction conference this past month, which I had opportunity to co-chair with member Bryant. Huge turnout. So far, we haven't gone through all the evaluations yet, but positively received so far. A lot of hard work behind the scenes. And again, my appreciation to the commission. A highlight of that was having the team that you see here, Aaron, Miranda, and Cheryl, as well as 3 consultants as a part of a CTC panel at lunch, really did honor the work that we do as that collaborative work across the state in partnership with the CTC. So thank you to all of you for participating. But member Brian, did you want to share anything on regarding the conference?
Oh, it was actually just this amazing opportunity for everyone to come together, and it felt very joyful. Actually, there was a lot of energy in the room, in the space, and there was a lot of learning and going on, but it was beyond learning. There was connection and a lot of interaction happening that was really fun to witness. So I really enjoyed witnessing that as well, which was a nice kind of fruit of the labor that I hadn't necessarily anticipated or really thought about when we were in the middle of creating schedules and in the midst of all the technical aspects of it. So that to me was the best part, was seeing people coming together and enjoying coming together from all around the state and connecting, and then taking that back to where they are, and then there are ripples from that.
And it was a year of no conference to have the conference back. And we have a save the date for next year's conference in January of next year. So it's already on the books to plan for the future and to keep this alive is our goal. Any other members or co-chair, any other thing that anyone wanted to share or report?
I would just add that I have not had the opportunity to attend previously an induction conference, so I can't speak to previous conferences, but the space may be part of it. But walking into that space and being immediately, I showed up by myself, and as I came up the escalator, there was somebody there. You had a table there to welcome. Somebody grabbed me, Aaron, you're over here, and I mean, it was so well organized and really just appeared to be running like this just perfectly well-oiled machine. I don't know who has to take over for the 2 of you next year, if it's not you both, but they've got big shoes to fill. The video that was sort of put together, the little compilation video afterwards of the highlights was just amazing. So if the conference sessions themselves were mirrored in any way by just the short exposure that I and some of us had to I'm sure it was just knocked out of the park. It just looked wonderful. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. That means a lot. And we are leading the conference coming up this next year. We learned a lot and we want to be able to maximize that learning.
Exactly.
But we're also building in structures where we're going to be passing forward. We have an advisory board, so we're going to be passing it forward for the following year because we do want that shared voice. For those of you in the public who aren't aware, on the advisory board are two representatives from all 7 clusters in the state of California. And I can say that we have 14 people on the advisory board, plus 2 members of the CTC, and pretty much everybody came to every planning meeting. So it was the voice of the state. Even though Malika and I facilitated it, it was the voice of the state that created this conference. So that is sincere appreciation.
And connected with that is this idea of building in a sustainable process that really is building in across the state voice and commitment so that we can sustain this beyond the 2 of us, so we don't burn ourselves.
Very true.
And it was group effort.
Definitely. So with that, we're gonna move forward with our agenda for today into program approvals. We're gonna pass staff reports just a little bit later on. Because the time schedule for site visit reports, we divided this item again into part 1 and part 2. Part 2 will be taken up this afternoon. For part 1, there are 5 programs for approval, 3 of which are for the PK3. Before we invite the first institution in, and just for all the institutions to be aware, we're going to ask institutions when it's time for you to share about your institution to please limit that to 3 minutes. So however many people come into the room, collectively total of 3 minutes to share. And that gives our COA also an opportunity to ask questions, which then more information can be shared at that point. I want to say that ahead of time because it's not for one institution, it's for all institutions. With that, we're going to invite in the first institution to our meeting this morning, and that is Mount St. Mary's University. They're presenting the preliminary PK3 the Childhood Education Instruction Credential. Joining us today from Mount St. Mary's University to answer any questions you may have about the program are Dr. Tometa Shaw, who's the Associate Professor and Program Director of Early Childhood Education, Dr. Amy Cunningham, the Fieldwork and Assessment Coordinator. For this item, are there any recusals? Seeing none, this is an opportunity again for the institutional representatives to share anything they'd like to share or about their program, anything that you would like to share.
Hi, good morning. Once again, my name is
I don't
Dr.
think we can
Tometa
hear
Shaw.
you. You could check your microphone.
You can't hear me?
Can hear you, Dr. Shaw.
We can't hear either of you. Maybe it's on our side. Let's double check. Give us one quick second. This is one of those tech glitches that we mentioned earlier that might happen.
Hearing from staff who are watching online that they can hear her, so it's just in the room.
All right. So for the staff of Mount St. Mary's, thank you for your patience. It's us, not you. So no stress and pressure on your end. We'll check in to see what's happening on our end.
No, right. Go turn.
Good that we have people that are watching from your staff, Aaron, so they know who they're able to hear. I know it's always nerve-wracking for our people who are joining us that it's your microphone. It's nice to know it's not yours, so you can relax on that piece.
And so we have an awkward silence.
I know. Bill, do you want me to run up and get Chris and Vince?
Just message them.
Just in case one of those buttons work, do you mind just sharing something, one of you, for a moment from Mount St. Mary's, just hello or something? Are you able to hear us?
Testing,
We can
testing.
Okay, we can hear you. We can
hear us
hear you.
now?
Wait,
Okay.
I think we're almost there. Give us one quick second. Are
Okay.
you able to turn the volume up a little bit on our end? All right, so the staff are at Mount St. Mary's. Thank you, Dr. Shaw and Dr. Cunningham, for your patience. The first one out, it's always hard because we have to set the stage for the day, but would you like to share a little bit about your institution's program, the program that you're recommending, which is the preliminary PK?
This program is offered through an integrated teacher education pathway and is designed to prepare candidates to teach children from preschool through grade 3 using developmentally appropriate, culturally and linguistically responsive practices. The program is grounded in child development theory and emphasizes early literacy, inclusive instruction, family engagement, and equitable learning environments. The pre-K to 3 teacher performance expectations are embedded across coursework and supervised clinical practice, allowing candidates to develop competent progressively through both formative and summative assessments. Coursework is intentionally sequenced and integrated with field work and supervised teaching experiences so candidates can apply theory to practice in real classroom settings, serving diverse learners. Candidate assessment includes course-embedded performance tasks, clinical evaluations, professional disposition assessments, and completion of the literacy performance assessment aligned with the state requirements. These assessments provide multiple measures of candidate readiness and instructional effectiveness across developmental stages from preschool through primary grades. Candidates receive structured support throughout the program, including faculty advising, clinical supervision, and targeted assessment support seminars designed to promote successful progression and completion. The program is supported by experienced faculty and strong partnerships with local schools and early childhood settings, ensuring high-quality clinical placements and mentoring. We believe this program reflects Mount St. Mary's University, Los Angeles' commitment to preparing effective, reflective, and responsive early childhood educators who are well prepared to support young children and their families across pre-K to 3 settings. Thank you for your time, and we are happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shaw, for sharing. We now would like to open this up for public comment. As a reminder, if there are members of the public that would like to provide a comment, please notify the meeting moderator by submitting a request card, by clicking on the raise hand icon if participating through Zoom, or by pressing *9 if participating by phone. And comments will be limited to 2 minutes from the public. Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
No public comments. Thank you so much. Now we have an opportunity for any of our committee members who would like to ask questions for the representatives from Mount St. Mary's. We have Member Hallis.
I want to thank you for the submission. It was very, very thorough. And I like the fact you have 3 different options for the candidates to fulfill their supervised teaching requirements. Do you have any sense maybe which one of those 3 options might be the most popular or the busiest for you all?
Ooh, the one that would be more popular. Oh, I'm trying to figure out which area you were speaking of. I'm so all over the place.
Are you talking about the clinical practice?
Yeah, the
options?
clinical practice options, whether
Experience.
yeah, for experience in the different settings, whether it'll be in-service supervised teaching or internship route, or how you're seeing those hours potentially going.
It would be more likely the supervised teaching. Because for us at Mount St. Mary's, we also have an AA and ECE as well. So of course we'll have students that would transfer in, so they would kind of have the same matching up that we have at Mount St. Mary's. So that's more beneficial for us. So I see it more going that route.
We also have the lab setting with our child care center that Dr. Shaw directs here on campus, and that will be a great option for them to get that first experience and supervision and access to that age group. In addition to all the fantastic partnerships that we've been planting seeds for. Should this program get improved, we're excited to get out there and get our candidates out into the field. Dr. Shaw has some really robust relationships with early childhood centers from her experience in the field. And so we're really excited to get candidates out there. And we also have some really great TK education centers from LUSD here right next to our campus.
Thank you.
Any other questions from our committee members? And again, I commend you for your program. It shows you really care about your students, not just as students, but as people. The wraparound, the supports was clear. I was particularly impressed with that student care center that you had mentioned. That so it's just above and beyond making sure that they do well, not just professionally, but also personally. So thank you for the proposal. It's an opportunity now for us to see if we have a motion by any of our committee members. Yeah, Member Leggett.
I move to approve the preliminary PK3 early childhood education instruction credential through Mount St. Mary.
Again, do we have a second? Member Sykes? It's an opportunity for all of us to now vote on the motion. Before we do that, any additional comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. We wish you the absolute best as you move this program forward.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. And today what Co-Chair Bogdanovich and I are going to do, we're going to go back and forth throughout this morning to have a shared voice. You're going to see us just moving back and forth. So we're going to over to you.
All right. The second institution is Azusa Pacific University's preliminary PK3 early childhood education instruction credential program. Are joining us today from Azusa Pacific, we have Dr. Catherine Claus Brinkley, Chair, Department of Teacher Education, Associate Dean, lots of things that I see you doing there. And Dr. Stacy Kula, Dean of the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences. Do we have any recusals on this item?
I'll be recused.
All right, my co-chair over here. Again, we are trying to keep a steady flow. We have lots of items and a packed agenda, so we're asking that institutions keep this to around 3 minutes. So are there any one of the representatives or both of you would like to speak for the proposed program, telling us a little bit more about it? We'd love to hear it.
Yes, that will fall to me as the dean. First of all, good morning. Thank you for having us here. It's really a privilege to present what I consider to be the latest milestone in APU's commitment to California's youngest learners. We are really proud to introduce our PK-3 Early Childhood Education Specialist Instruction Credential, seamlessly integrated into our existing BA in Early Childhood Education pathway. This 34 to 36 unit program is meticulously designed, I must say, to meet the urgent demand for highly qualified and dedicated early childhood educators across Southern California. Our curriculum goes beyond theory, focusing on the intersection of physical, cognitive, and social emotional development. We ensure our candidates are prepared to deliver instruction that is developmentally, culturally, and linguistically responsive. The heart of our program is focused on the importance of play in learning, diversity, and foundational math and literacy skills. APU is fully committed to providing a robust clinical experience that meets and exceeds state standards. This includes 60 hours of early field work to establish foundational awareness, followed by 600 hours of intensive, supervised clinical practice in diverse early childhood settings. Throughout this process, candidates receive direct mentorship from both veteran cooperating teachers and university supervisors, ensuring that they fully master the PK-3 teaching performance expectations. High standards are maintained through a multi-layered assessment framework. This includes the Cal TPA, Cal LPA, which serve as vital benchmarks to ensure graduates are fully equipped to deliver high-quality, evidence-based instruction. And furthermore, professional disposition rubrics and signature assignments guarantee that every candidate emerges as a committed professional ready to lead their own classroom. APU doesn't just enroll students, we see them through to the finish line. We are a very high-touch program. Every student receives comprehensive support ranging from one-on-one academic and credential counseling to wellness and financial aid resources. By leveraging Azusa Pacific University's longstanding reputation in teacher education, we are ready to bridge the gap in our regional workforce and provide the expert instruction our PK-3 students deserve. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for that additional information and representing your institution. Are there any public comments? Public comments. Thank you. Do any committee members have any questions for the representatives from Azusa Pacific University? Yes, Amber Hollis.
I just want to compliment you on the amount of play-based items that are in the proposal, and just wanted to thank you for carrying that over to your course naming conventions. I do love the names like Little Learners, Big Beginnings, Brainwaves and Breakthroughs, Reading Rainbow is just refreshing to see in these matrices and things we go through and read, something beyond the standard boilerplate. So great job.
Any other comments from the committee?
Yes, I'd just like to echo the appreciation that play is really woven throughout. It's so clear that that's a priority throughout. So I just want to say thank you for making that the foundation all the way through.
You remember
Thank you for that.
Bryant. Any other comments or questions? No, all right. Do I have a motion to approve the preliminary PK-3 Early Childhood Education Instruction Credential Program for Azusa Pacific University? All right, Member Bryant, do I have a second? I have a second from, sorry, Member Hall. I saw Hall first. All right. All of those in favor say aye. All of those opposed say no. All right, the motion carries. Thank you so much for everything that you do in the field and for our students, and especially for this new venture you are taking on for PK-3.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, we're excited to meet the needs of families in Southern California through this program. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, we are bouncing back over here to Member Lee.
The third institution is Sacramento State University's preliminary PK-3 Early Childhood Education Instruction Credential Program. Joining us today from Sacramento State University to answer any questions you may have about the program are Greg Shaw, Interim Dean, Bernard Puckrell, Information Technology Consultant, Dr. Brian Lim, Teaching Credentials Department Chair, Dr. Pia Wong, Primary Program Proposal Author. And do we have any recusals on this item? All right, there are none. So would the institutional representatives like to share anything about the proposed program?
Good morning, everybody.
Maybe missing. Well, we'll wait a moment. It looks like we're bringing in a few more people, so our apologies, Dr. Wong. There's two more people.
Dr. Brian Lim online.
Okay, perfect. So it looks like we have everybody here. So thank you so much. Feel free to share what you would like about the program. Dr. Wong, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm very pleased to be here today representing the College of Education at Sacramento State. With me are our Dean, Dr. Greg Shaw, the Chair of the Teaching Credentials Department where this program will be housed, Dr. Brian Lim, and Bernard Puckrell, the Data and Technology Officer / Data Analytics Developer for our college. Our PK-3 program was designed by an intersegmental team of experts representing local community college ECE faculty partners, colleagues from 2 departments in our college, Child and Adolescent Development and Teaching Credentials, and a partner from a local Head Start program. This team dived into program design with alacrity and attention to both the broad themes of the program standards and the important details related to professional knowledge and competence required for this credential area. Our program is 1 full calendar year in length with clinical experiences integrated into coursework in each of the 3 semesters of our program. The candidates will complete 15 courses overall. A few elements we are especially excited about. In our coursework, foundational literacy and mathematics knowledge and strategies are central, and we have integrated high leverage strategies for math and literacy learning into other courses as well, in order to model for candidates the ways in which they might do this in their own teaching so that literacy and math learning occur in many settings, contexts, and activities, especially play. We have also designed our course schedule to make the program especially accessible to current ECE professionals. They are the most culturally and linguistically diverse segment of the education workforce, and we want to make sure they have every opportunity to complete this credential. And finally, we look forward to continued partnership with several local PK3 alignment demonstration sites with which our team has been working for the past 2 years. We anticipate that these will be excellent sites for our candidates' clinical experiences. Earlier in the month, we held an informational session for interested applicants. Over 45 people attended, and we look forward to giving them the good news today. We hope that they can move forward with their application to this program. On behalf of my colleagues at the College of Education, I'd like to thank the review team for their feedback, the CTC staff for their guidance, and the members of the Committee on Accreditation for their, we hope, affirmative consideration of our proposed program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wong. Now it's an opportunity to see if we have any public comments.
No public comment.
Thank you so much. Now it's an opportunity for our committee members. Are there any questions that we have for the members from Sacramento State University?
I just have a comment. Yeah, I'm just so excited to hear about the mathematics implement within the program. I think starting mathematics early on is just exceptional. How did you guys come up with that brainstorm, that idea to put mathematics early childhood?
I think because play, and then as the children age, play moving into inquiry is a central part of the pedagogical framework for our program. We know there's mathematics in all kinds of play activities, and so it seemed very logical, in addition to being the standards, that we would center math along with literacy. I will add, we also have an integrated science social studies methods course so that our future PK3 teachers are able to teach the entire sort of multiple subject curriculum, but with a focus obviously on foundational literacy and mathematics.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Other committee members? I'd like to share that it stood out. You had 6 pathways for field work. And so we ask our teachers to differentiate. The university are differentiating, which I think is truly impressive. 2 things that stood out to me, if you could maybe elaborate a little bit more on, you mentioned the parent-teacher home visit project training and an IEP simulation day. And both of those sounded intriguing and exciting. Briefly, could you just share a little bit about maybe what one of those are?
Of course. The IEP simulation day is actually a campus-based full-day event. So Sac State offers, I have lost count, but it's something like 14 different credential programs. And so we have school nurses, we have school counselors, we have school psychologists, educational leadership, and all of the different teaching credentials. And so all of the faculty across those programs have collaborated over the last few years to create IEP case studies. And so we bring all of our candidates across all of the different credential areas together to engage in practicing the skills and the knowledge needed to run an assets-based IEP meeting. So that's the IEP simulation event. All the people on the screen know full well about this and participate in trying to make this event happen every year in one way or the other. We would invite anybody who's interested to come and observe. You can observe via Zoom. Watching our candidates in action across the credential programs is really quite inspiring. And then the Parent Teacher Home Visit Project is a national organization, but it was started here in Sacramento by the Sacramento City Teachers Association, Sacramento ACT, which is an interfaith organization, and Sacramento City Unified School District. And it's a protocol for creating collaboration and partnership between families and teachers. Also very powerful. The project does training for all of the candidates in our teaching credential programs at Sac State, and the PK3 program will be folded into that training schedule.
And our IEP simulation day for this year is March 7th, Saturday.
Thank you, Benon.
So for those listening, open invitation, you can reach out to Sacramento State University. Thank you for being available to the other members who are interested in seeing something. Both of those sound so meaningful and impactful to what all programs maybe want to take a look at to support their respective educators. So thank you for sharing about that. Any other members? Or is there a motion from any of our members for the approval of the preliminary PK3 early childhood education instructor credential for Sacramento State University? And I saw Member Hall first, so.
I move to approve the preliminary PK3 early childhood education instructional credential at Sacramento State.
Member Leggett, did you want to second that since I saw your hand up? All right, excellent. So we have a second, Member Leggett. And all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries, wishes granted. So those people excited in the wings, you can now tell them that you have been approved. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, with the node's on the screen, so he can go ahead and make the change to the website right away.
We'll do that right away.
I just wanted to acknowledge the work of Dr. Wong and her colleagues, because this has been a multi-year endeavor. I know that because we've been talking with them for a couple of years, but their commitment to really recognizing the folks that are actually currently in the early childhood space and wanting to get them into this credential program, and there's just the creative ways they're trying to think about the program and being able to get those individuals. So I just really want to commend Sac State for the work that they've done.
Excellent.
Thank you, Cheryl.
For those
Thank you so much.
trying to write programs, their information's public under the COA website. You can learn a lot by it's very deep work that you all did in developing these programs. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
you.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
All right, the fourth institution in is the California Baptist University, adding a pupil personnel services school social work, CWA, credential program. Joining us today from California Baptist University to answer any questions you might have about the program are Dr. Robin Duncan, Dean, School of Ed, Dr. Keith Walter, Associate Dean, School of Education, and Dr. Liza Arellano, MSW, Program Director, College of Behavioral and Social Science. You all might remember from the last meeting, the COA approved their PPS school social work program, and there was some confusion over whether they plan to offer the CWA authorization with that program. This agenda item clears that up. Do we have any recusals on this item? No? All right. Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
All right. Do any committee members have any questions for the representatives from California Baptist University?
Say something.
To speak, that was
Yeah, I think I left that.
Nope. I backtrack that comment right now. Do any of you on the screen or from Cal Baptist University have anything that you would like to share with us about your program that you are adding the authorization for?
Right. Thank you for the time today. I appreciate your time and letting us come back. Like you kind of summarized what I was going to say. We did develop the program originally with the child welfare and attendance built in. I think we just omitted mentioning that or specifically having that approved back in December. So we appreciate you coming back now and being able to approve that so we can have a more complete program approval at this time. So that's really why we're here today. And if you have any questions, we'll welcome those. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Now, do we have any committee members with questions or comments for them? Yes, Member Sykes.
I just have a comment. I really found your section on the demonstration of need, particularly citing data regarding mental health supports for LGBTQIA students, very compelling, and this program seems much needed in the area. And like what else stood out was your evidence on the social worker to student ratio was, just there was such a need in the area. So I want to just commend you on developing this program and hope that it really begins to serve the students who need it the most.
Thank you. Yes, that's very important for us to serve all students well.
Any other comments or questions? Alright, do I have a motion to approve the child welfare and attendance authorization for the personnel services, school social work for California Baptist University? Member Hollis.
I move that we approve the child welfare and attendance authorization to the pupil personnel services, school social work for California Baptist University.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, member Leggett. All right, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed, say no. All right, the motion carries. Thank you so much for all
Thank
the
you.
field and for rejoining us today.
Thank you very much.
And then for our committee members, this will be the last program approval for part one, and the proposal is from San Jose State University to add a teacher librarian special class authorization in information and digital literacy program. And joining us today from San Jose State University to answer any questions you may have about the program is Mr. Jonathan Hunt, the school librarian program coordinator. Before we begin, any recusals on this item? There are none. So would our institutional representative like to share anything about your proposed program?
I think it's pretty cut and dried. This special class authorization would allow teacher librarians to teach digital literacy, information literacy, and digital citizenship in a departmentalized setting. We have always taught those. We've always prepared our students to teach those in a co-teaching setting. So it's a really seamless transition. Over the last several years, especially, we've seen increasing demand for the special class authorization from both school districts and from program graduates and from current students wanting and desiring the special class authorization. And the tipping point for me to pursue this option was when we saw a job description from a large school district that hires a lot of teacher librarians actually had it in a job requirement. And we didn't feel like it was fair to our students to invest that much time, money, and effort into pursuing a teacher librarian credential and not be prepared to compete with jobs out in the marketplace.
Thank you so much for sharing and for your forward thinking on that. Do we have any public comments on this item?
Public comments.
At this time, any questions from the Committee on Accreditation? And again, I commend you for just thinking we have an ever-changing world related to digital literacy and information, and noting that you want to make sure that your completers are prepared to compete in the market is critical and crucial. So even though that was one job description, I'm sure there's others out there. And thank you for that forward thinking on there. With that, we have a member Sykes.
Sure. I just had one question in regards to curriculum. And just thinking with, the increase in books being challenged in the PK-12 system, and the critical role that the library and library media specialist plays in ensuring access to digital print. I'm curious to hear kind of what are some ways you all prepare candidates for potential book challenges or book bans.
Awesome. So a couple of things. We currently have one class called Information 237 that is about school library media materials that covers that extremely well. We are also, separate from this meeting, we're also going through another program change where we are taking two classes. One of them is collection management, which considers that, but more from a public library setting, which is very different from a school library setting. And then cataloging is another class that is a little bit different for school librarians. So we are combining both of those classes into a single class that will focus even more on the book challenges to kind of address the current reality.
Other members? Also an opportunity to make a motion if any member would like to make a motion. Member Hillis.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the teacher librarian special class authorization in information and digital literacy at San Jose State University.
We have a second. Yes, Member Leggett. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Congratulations. The motion carries unanimously. We wish you the absolute best, Mr. Hunt, in your endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing this forward to us today. And then that concludes part one of this item, and we'll take part two later on, like we had said later. I'm going to pass it over to item number 7.
All right, we are switching gears now, and we are going to item 7, which are the report of program status changes. This item is divided also into 2 parts. Part 1 includes items for action by the COA, and part 2 are items for notification only and require no action by the COA. So we are going to do section 1, program withdrawals. Or section A rather, excuse me. Section A is for action. There is 1 program sponsor withdrawing 1 program. SIA Tech Teacher Induction effective January 29th, 2026. This institution will no longer be a program sponsor by withdrawing their only program. This item is for action. Are there any recusals for this? Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
Committee members, do you have any questions or comments? All right, do I have a motion to approve the withdrawal request from SIA Tech of the teacher induction program? Member Hall.
I move to approve the recommendation of the withdrawal of the professional preparation program by SIA Tech.
Thank you. And do I have a second? Committee. All right, thank you, Member Hillis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. All right, motion carries. All right, B, professional preparation programs requesting reactivation. There is 1 institution requesting reactivation for their program, University of San Francisco. Preliminary administrative services credential inactive since July 31st, 2024. Because we do not have requests to reactivate an inactive program very often, we've asked staff to talk a little bit about the process for reactivating an inactive program and also their discussions with USF leading up to this point. We have Kiyomi Meeker, consultant, who will do just that in a moment. We are also joined by institutional representative Derek Smith, Dr. Derek Smith, department chair, associate professor, educational leadership, co-director of Transformative School Leadership Program on Zoom to answer any questions we may have. Before we begin, are there any recusals? Okay, Ms. Meeker, please begin.
Thank you. Good morning, committee members. I'm here to present an overview of the reactivation request for the University of San Francisco, USF. USF is requesting to reactivate the Preliminary Administrative Services Program, which has been inactive since July 31st, 2024. First, I'd like to go over the process for reactivation. Reactivation requires COA action at a regularly scheduled meeting. The process begins when the program sponsor submits a letter requesting reactivation, and that includes the requested date of reactivation, why reactivation is being requested, and if changes have been made to the program. Additional documentation may be required depending on the length of time the program has been inactive, if there have been any updates to our program standards or preconditions, if the institution had personnel changes or curricular changes. Once all the requested documentation has been reviewed and commission staff determine the institution provided sufficient evidence for reactivation, the request for reactivation is placed on the COA agenda for final approval as we have before you today. If approved, the reactivation program may admit candidates, begin operating the program, and recommend completers for the credential or authorization based on the approved reactivation date. Specifically for USF, as we mentioned, they had requested in 2024 to move their PASC program to inactive so that they could allow their program to adjust. Specifically, they were looking to re-examine the program's marketability, sustainability, and course variety. USF reached out to the commission staff in the fall of 2025 regarding the reactivation of their program, and commission staff met with USF to review the process for reactivation and understand what changes, if any, would be made to the PASC program. USF is proposing a few changes to the PASC program to better integrate with its master's and doctoral programs offered at USF, while still meeting the standards to maintain CTC accreditation. The key changes to the program, also outlined in the attached letter you have, is increased flexibility in course requirements, more course options embedded in the organization and leadership program, and a slightly extended program length. Commission staff have reviewed the updated information and determined there is sufficient evidence for USF to restart the PASC program with the proposed changes. The revised course sequence, along with the matrix provided, shows that the California Administrator Performance Expectations, CAPES, will be addressed through the course sequence. And Dr. Derek Smith, as I mentioned, is here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Smith. Is there anything you'd like to share with us about the reactivation request?
Well, I think Ms. Meeker did a great job of summarizing what we're trying to do. Basically, what we're interested in is making sure that our students can both complete the program comfortably, given their work schedules, but also still be informed about all the various aspects of being a school principal that are not required by the Cal APA. So in addition to our standard preparation classes and sequence that prepare students to pass the Cal APA, we also wanted to expand the options that students have to explore some of the other aspects of school leadership in the modern era. And so in the description that you all have, you'll see 3 areas of additional courses that students can take to fulfill a law and policy elective, a student support elective, and an operations elective. Now, a few of these classes we already had, but what we wanted to do was add more options for students to take to fulfill those requirements, to still be able to address those elective areas, but provide just enough diversity in terms of our options so that folks can still feel engaged regarding their respective locations. So we're really excited about these changes. We're very proud of our program, and we're very proud of our faculty as well for preparing school administrators to address the most pressing needs of our students and staff in the field today.
Great, thank you so much. Committee members, do you have any comments or questions for Dr. Smith? Yes, Member Bryant.
Thank you for the information. I'm wondering, as you were completing this redesign, who did you consult with in the design that helped you come up with this new format?
Well, we have several advisors in the Bay Area, in particular, principals, school board members from the East Bay and in the San Francisco area that we consult on a fairly routine basis about any major changes. Full disclosure, I've known some of them for many years, so it's very easy for them to reach out, and they've been sounding boards for some of our faculty for quite some time. So in the previous redesign back in 2014-15, around there, we did something similar with a different group of advisors. But for this particular task, we wanted folks that had a lot of experience in the field, but also were very up to date with some of the recent challenges that some of the larger districts in the Bay Area are facing, and some of our suburban districts as well. So we feel very confident about the group of advisors that we have and the mix of expertise that they bring. So without them, we wouldn't be able to make these adjustments.
Thank you. And do you have a plan for maintaining a process to keep that ongoing relevance happening?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're very proud of our existing board members. We like meeting with them annually, if not twice a year. We plan to continue that and add board members as some people leave the field or have transferred out of the area. We had a superintendent that actually transferred out of the area, so we need to replace him. But we want to continue to meet with those folks as they are our colleagues. We at the University of San Francisco believe that everyone in education around the world are our colleagues and they should have input and respect on whatever we're doing. So we like to stay in touch with our folks.
Any other questions or concerns from the committee? Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
Do I have a motion to approve the reactivation request for University of San Francisco of the Preliminary Administrative Services Credential Program? All right, Member Leggett.
I move to approve the University of San Francisco reactivation of the Preliminary Administrative Services Program.
Do I have a second? Thank you, Member Sykes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. All right, motion carries. Thank you so much, Dr. Smith, and we wish you the best of luck on your reactivation of the program.
Thank you all very much. Have a good rest of your week.
Thank you. All right, Part C is adding a new content area to an existing program. There is one institution requesting to add a new content area to their existing programs. University of California, Santa Cruz, single subject world languages. We have a representative from UC Santa Cruz. If you have any questions about the program, Dr. Celeste Hilberg, Director of Teacher Education. Do we have any recusals from this item? Right. Good morning. Do you,
Good morning. Thank you.
as the institution, have anything that you would like to say about your program?
I do. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Celeste Tilburg, and I serve as the Director of Teacher Education for the University of California, Santa Cruz Education Department. Our credential program is an intensive full-time 12-month program beginning with a summer session, followed by fall, winter, spring, and a final summer session. Students can earn a Master of Arts in Education degree along with their preliminary California teaching credential. The options that we currently have are multiple subjects and single subjects in math, science, social sciences, and English. And so what we're proposing today is to also have a single subject world language in Spanish. What we have done is partnered with our Spanish department to design this pathway for students, and we're very excited for this opportunity. The overarching goal of our program is to develop teachers who are change agents and social justice advocates who are dedicated to fostering equitable and effective schooling, as well as life opportunities for all students who are in our program. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Are there any public comments?
No public comment.
Thank you. Do the committee members have any questions about the program? This item is for action. Do I have a motion by any of the committee members? Member Hollis.
I move to approve the single subject world languages for the University of California in Santa Cruz.
All right. Do I have a second? Member Sykes, I saw your hand first. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. All right, motion carries. All right, I am going to turn it over. Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry. Thank you for being here and best of luck on your world languages in Spanish.
The next two sections, D and E, are for notification purposes only. No action is required. Section D is programs transitioning. The commission staff is in the process of receiving and reviewing transition documents from the speech language pathology programs and will bring the list of those transitioning when the process is complete, which will be most likely in June. Section E, programs moving to inactive status. This is also an information item. There are 2 institutions requesting to move 3 programs to an inactive status. San Diego Christian College, preliminary multiple subject credential, effective January 29th, 2026. And their preliminary single subject credential, effective January 29th, 2026. And St. Mary's College of California, preliminary administrative services credential, effective February 1st, 2026. Item number 8 is discussion of institutions not in compliance with accreditation timelines, and Administrator Miranda Gutierrez will present this item.
Great, thank you. So just an update on accreditation activities and deadlines. So last time we reported program review was due October 15th, and we were sorting through to see what had come in and what was still outstanding. We had one institution who has not yet submitted, but you just saw on item 7 that they requested inactive status, and so we're working with them on that. And then we're still working with 2 institutions to complete the SV 48 process. You can see in that item that one of the reviews is in process for one of the institutions, and the other we are awaiting their resubmission, which we are expecting next month in February. That's all the update.
Thank you.
Right now.
Hey, we appreciate that. We're going to go into item number 9. As we go into item number 9, I just want to thank all the previous institutions for really being concise, but also in your share out. And for future institutions this morning, if you could just be mindful of that as well when you share out, to keep to that 3 minutes. We're going to now move into item 9, which is the report of accreditation site visit team to California Lutheran University. Consultants Dr. Elizabeth de los Santos and Jake Schuler will present this item, and they're joined by team lead Dr. Cynthia Grutzik and institutional representative Dr. Mel Spence, who's the Assistant Dean, College of Education. And I know we have a few recusals on this item, Member Hall and Member Hillis, and we still maintain quorum because we still have 7 people present. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll wait for Dr. Pernin to return. We do need all 7. So we'll pause for a moment. So thank you to the university as we pause. I think this is the only item today that we are right at quorum. So thank you for your patience. And we are sort of ish on time. We thank you the institution. I know we're about 15 minutes off, but I appreciate your patience this morning as we move forward.
Can I also ask that Christina Soria and Dan Tillapa be brought in for the
Thank you for
institution?
sharing. Yes, we will take this time to look for them. Thank you for letting us know.
Sorry, can you repeat the names one more time?
Sure. Christina Soria, Soria, and Dan Tillapa.
Thank you.
There we go. We appreciate you letting us know. We got Christine here. And there's Dan. All right. Just a quick minute.
We're waiting for one committee member to come back into the room so we have a quorum.
And typically we have a extra person around, but just making sure that we do things the correct way. We just want to make sure we have 7 people present in the live setting. Well, we do this just as a reminder to our committee members that we are on time for the lunch at 12. So if you haven't put the lunch orders in, we'll do that. And with that, we are going to, and we have now we're at quorum, and then we're going to have Dr. De Los Santos begin the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning. It is my pleasure to co-present the site visit report for California Lutheran University with my colleague and the lead consultant on the visit, Jake Schuler. The visit took place virtually from October 26th through 29th, 2025. A total of 240 interviews were conducted, and the visit proceeded in accordance with all normal accreditation protocols. We would like to thank the team from CLU for their thorough preparation for the visit and timely response to requests for additional information and documentation from the site visit team. I will now turn it over to Jake.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Good morning, committee members. Nice to see you all. As Elizabeth mentioned, the leadership team at CLU was wonderful to work with. We met with Dean Mike Hillis, Assistant Dean Mel Spence, and Credential Analyst Christina Soria monthly. And I always enjoy working with Mel and Christina. Mike's okay too. And also Dan, who joined us a few times. Thanks, Dan. Also joining us by Zoom today is our team lead, Dr. Cynthia Gritzik. Cynthia is an absolute joy to work with and a fantastic leader throughout the site visit. Also, we want to mention our team members. So joining us on the visit was Dr. Lori Kersey-Reed, Barbara Howard, Michelle Hall, R.D. Nordgren, Karen Webster, Maurice Belote, Brent Duncan, and Georgiana Ravenna. All right, I'll stop there and turn it over to Cynthia, who will present the findings and the accreditation recommendation.
Thank you, Jake and Elizabeth, and good to see you, Committee on Accreditation folks. Nice to see familiar faces and nice to be here today. I want to also thank the site visit team members for their diligence, thoroughness, and thoughtful deliberations. We had good deliberations, and to Jake and Elizabeth for their support and guidance throughout this process. Thanks to Dean Hillis, Mel Spence, Dan Tillapa, Christina Soria, and the faculty and staff of the Graduate School of Education. You're so responsive and really facilitated a very helpful series of interviews. We feel like due to your hard work, we really got to learn everything we needed to know in order to make these findings. And it was clear there was really solid preparation for the visit in advance, and documents and reports were easy to find and navigate, and anything extra that we needed was quickly provided. So I want to just share some highlights that stood out to the team, and I think you'll see these in the report as well. The Graduate School of Education at CLU is recognized as a model in many ways. The assessment and continuous improvement that they engage in, the pathways to careers that they're so focused on, the impact on the community. Their graduates are everywhere throughout the region and sought after as teachers, counselors, and leaders. And many of the P12 leaders we spoke with had gotten their degrees at CalLU. So it's been, it's a long-standing, well-recognized, and well-respected program throughout the region. And district representatives reiterated this to us, describing CalLU as having an institutional culture of care and calling it a gem of a school they're fortunate to have in the area, and for providing high-quality candidates. So examples of this transformative nature of the work of the GSOE span the entire unit. Through solid partnerships and grant funding, the GSOE is intentional about enrolling and retaining a culturally and linguistically diverse student body in order to diversify the K-12 workforce throughout Ventura, Santa Barbara, and LA counties. Candidates noted that they felt that CalLU feels like home. They could come back anytime. They had rich relationships and opportunities to network. They felt that they made a difference in their students' lives and that the environment was cultivated in their program, which allowed them to model this in their own classroom. Personal connection is prioritized from the outset. This was clear. Across the board, so many people were talking about the culture of kindness on the campus, how this permeates, and how President Nunez sets the tone for this. And it's really carried throughout the Graduate College of Education, the School of College of Education. PASC has done a great job of updating their program and courses and working with the community to improve the program. Candidates in that program said instructors are always accessible, caring, and flexible. Students reported they felt seen and valued as students of color, first time that they had been mentored and advised by faculty who had the same background as themselves. And diversifying the faculty has been a huge effort at the university in recent years, and this has had really positive impact. So I want to share the findings. Let's see, I think the easiest thing to do is just to share that many of the program standards were found to be met, and some were found to be met with concerns. So let me share a little bit about those. Multiple single subject program standard 4 was found to be met with concerns, while support and assistance was described very positively by most candidates. The candidates in one pathway reported not getting the support and assistance they need and expressed quite a bit of unhappiness in interviews. So we want to make sure candidates are heard and there's follow-up in this area. And so that was one. Bilingual program standard 2 was met with concerns. The bilingual candidates didn't consistently report having experience in bilingual settings. It's unclear that all bilingual candidates were assessed using the BTPEs, and not always clear how the BTPEs were embedded and implemented. So that was met with concerns. And then the special education program standard 2 was met with concerns, mostly around the area of literacy instruction and course design in this area. There was inconsistent evidence of having differentiated instruction and materials for each credential area when candidates in 3 credential areas are taking courses together. So those were the areas in which we found standards to be met with concerns, but all of the program standards were found to be met. All common standards were found to be met. In Common Standard 1, we flagged one area as met inconsistently to reflect our findings in the program standards. So overall, it's clear that the institution really wants to do this well, and literacy certification is really new. All of us had conversations about this throughout the visit and even before. So in terms of the finding qualified persons to teach the literacy class, all of this is of something that the institution has definitely been considering and working on. So our recommendation is therefore accreditation with a 7th-year report. Since 3 program standards were met with concern and we felt the concerns were significant enough to warrant some follow-up, and the 7th-year report seemed to be the best way for this to happen, as it provides the institution with a way to document that they've attended to these recommendations. And the team really had full confidence that they would definitely do this. So I will leave it at that and turn it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your report. We're now going to invite our institutional representatives to briefly comment about the visit. We remind you that this is not a time to dispute the team's report, but rather to provide any thoughts you had about the visit. And for all institutions, we're asking that it to be 3 minutes or less for the institution as well. Would anyone like to share?
Sure. And since it's Hollywood award season, I will start out with the thank yous as well to keep in line with our pop culture. So I will echo the sentiments of thanking everyone, Cynthia and her site team visit. They were wonderful to work with, as well as Jake and Elizabeth and the entire grad school of education. I'm getting ready for my own Oscar speech one day. I will say that it's definitely been challenging these last couple of years, gearing up for accreditation and then putting that process on pause to address literacy certification and then kind of re-gearing up for the site visit. So it did require the tremendous effort of multiple people, including Jake and Elizabeth, to pull this off and to pull it off with success. So with that being said, Cal Lutheran is a very strong proponent of continuous improvement and as a model for teacher education. And so we welcomed the opportunity to have these conversations about the areas in which concern was found. And so we immediately drove into addressing those concerns and have already set up some changes in the programs, including a touch point survey for our resident pathway. And the survey is implemented 3 times during their residency, at the beginning, the middle, and the end. And we sent out the middle survey this December so that we could keep a better eye on the experiences that our residents were having. We're also talking about restructuring those programs for those cohorts to see if our classes can better match their needs. For example, meeting on weekends rather than having them meet during the week after teaching. We're revising handbooks to provide better verbiage for program support and what candidates can do and their pathways to receive support from the various personnel that they are interfacing with. We have discussed better onboarding for our adjunct faculty, including having one-on-one conversations with those adjunct faculty as they are brought into the program with their specific program director. Our program placement director is also going to implement bi-weekly office hours for candidates and supervisors and cooperating teachers or mentor teachers. Specifically for mild, moderate, and extensive support needs, we did a very thorough review of program syllabi to identify other course areas and clinical practice areas that are aligned with TPE 7 and literacy prep. And then for the bilingual authorization, we've created new field logs that are aligned to the standards and forms to make sure that the standards are being monitored and supervised, and that the field experience hours are being documented and being documented with more fidelity. And also looking at, again, handbook language to better articulate field experience requirements for those candidates. So with that, we open it up for any questions that you may have, as long as they are easy.
Well, I want to thank you for leading forward with the Academy Awards. Your timing was perfect. We didn't have to put the music on to let you know it's 3 minutes. That was actually to the moment. So thank you. It's an opportunity for a public comment now. As a reminder, if there are members of the public that would like to provide a comment, please notify the meeting moderator by submitting a request card, clicking on the raise hand icon if participating through Zoom, or *9 if by phone. Do we have any public comments?
No public comment.
All right, thank you so much. So do we have any questions from our committee members? I'll add a comment. I just love the culminating grand finale, the submission party. And you said that in the report, there's 100% pass rate on the Ed TPA. And thinking about that novel idea of coming together as that culminating celebration, I think that's really a model of people working hard, coming together. Now let's celebrate and submit at the same time. And look, 100% came through as a success as a result of that. Goes to show the spirit of your institution. So I think there's a lot of good going on, and that you address so much already in your processes is to be commended as well. If there's any other comments or any motions from our committee members. This is an action item. We have Member Harris.
I move that we accept the report and the recommendation of accreditation with a 7th year report for California Lutheran University.
Do we have a second? See that we have Member Leggett. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. So motion carries. Congratulations. Thank you, Dr. Spence, Dr. Grusek, Dr. De Los Santos, and Mr. Schuler. And we wish you the absolute very best. And your 7th year report, we're confident that it's going to have everything in place. So thank you for your hard work in those years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right, we are moving on to item 10. Item 10 is the report of the accreditation site visit team to San Diego County Office of Education. Consultant William Hattrick will introduce this item. Joining him is team lead Kimberly Lilienthal and institutional representatives Shiva Jones. I'm so sorry because I didn't read ahead. Executive Director of Teacher Effectiveness and Preparation, Jeff Warshaw, Executive Director of Learning and Leadership Services. Does anyone need to recuse themselves? All right, Member Hollis. Mr. Hattrick, will you begin, please?
Definitely. All right. Good morning, committee members. The virtual site visit for San Diego County Office of Education took place November 16th to 19th, 2025 for their 18 credential programs, which includes preliminary teaching, induction, designated subjects, and added authorizations in special education. I'd like to thank our large team of reviewers and our team lead, Kimberly Lilienthal, for ensuring a smooth and successful visit. The institutional leadership, program directors, instructors, and staff from San Diego COE were very responsive to team requests for additional information related to their credential programs and accommodating other needs of the site visit team. The institution ensured that the team was able to interview various constituency groups for all the programs currently offered. In addition to interviews, the team reviewed evidence provided both before and during the site visit to determine findings on all common and program standards with a high degree of confidence. Before we move on to the findings, I'd like to address actions already taken to address Stipulation 1, which is related to Precondition 1 and ensuring that teachers enroll in induction in their first year of teaching. So normally these actions must be taken within 30 days of this meeting, but due to the significant gap of time between the visit and this meeting, San Diego County immediately devised a plan to address this stipulation, which included revising their MOU with participating districts, updating the teacher induction website for administrators, updating the handbook, and reminding district leads at their monthly meetings that induction is designed to begin in a teacher's first year of teaching. So just wanted to point that out before we get going here. And now I'll turn it over to Kimberly to discuss the findings on the accreditation report and the recommendation for their status. Thanks.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as team lead, the San Diego County Office of Education Educator Preparation Program. Site visit and represent the Committee on Accreditation. I appreciate all who were involved in preparing for and conducting this visit with the goal to identify alignment with the standards and provide feedback to further strengthen the quality of educator preparation. Based upon our team review, we determined all common standards were found to be met. Given the large number of approved programs and the programs housed across two divisions within the institution, this finding reflects a strong institutional infrastructure, effective systems for candidate preparation and support, and a well-established culture of continuous improvement. Across programs, the team found clear alignment to the institution's mission, strong collaboration among staff, and consistent use of multiple data sources to monitor candidate progress and program effectiveness. In reviewing program standards, most standards were met across the institution's preparation programs. The team noted a theme of high-quality coursework, strong candidate support, well-trained mentors, coaches, and supervisors, and attentional alignment between coursework and field-based practice. Candidates and completers consistently described programs as rigorous, with staff that was accessible and responsive. In interviews, local and regional partners also spoke positively about the preparation of educators to meet their workforce needs. As stated in the recommendation by the accreditation team and report findings, the team unanimously recommends accreditation with stipulations. The basis for the stipulations is not related to institutional capacity or program quality overall, but rather inconsistencies in implementation and documentation in the programs noted in the report. A short summary to note are intern programs, documentation and verification of required formal clinical supervision, which includes consistent candidate evaluation aligned to the TPEs or teaching performance expectations, and teacher induction, timelines for program entry, collaboration with site administrators and development of the ILP or candidate individualized learning plan, verification of mentor support hours, and systematic assessment of mentor effectiveness. The review and site visit clearly revealed for the team that San Diego County Office of Education is a strong, mission-driven institution with high levels of collaboration, responsiveness, and impact across the San Diego region and beyond. The quality with which they prepare educators is impressive and should be celebrated. When the time comes for questions, I'm happy to answer any the committee may have.
All right, we now invite the institutional representatives to briefly comment about the visit. We remind you that this is not a time to dispute the team's report, but rather to provide any thoughts you had about the visit. Good morning, and we welcome you.
Good morning. Thank you. I just want to say thank you so much to Kimberly and William, both for their leadership, and to the whole site visit team. I've actually been part of the whole accreditation process since the very beginning, and have to say that I continuously appreciate, and I think just in general, we at SDCOE continuously appreciate the value of the whole self-study experience throughout the entire cycle. It really sets us up for being able to reflect and practice what we preach with all the action research that we ask of our candidates out in the field, so that we're just really responsive to the needs and issues in the field. So I just want to say thank you, much gratitude. And we are, as William had mentioned, we are already addressing the concerns and have already put some systems in place to make sure that documentation aligns with what we're actually doing and that candidates are also aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate swift action and self-reflection. So thank you for that. Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
Are there any questions or comments from committee members? Yes, Co-Chair McKee.
I saw.
Oh,
Member Brian can go first.
go first.
Well, I just want to, commend you for already taking action on the preconditions. It really speaks volumes when you see something that a need and you don't wait. You just dive in and you take care of that. And it looked like it was the word inconsistencies means things are there, but maybe not 100%. And so it's nice to know the things are there. My wondering is the one main theme I saw was kind of on clinical practice hours. It seemed to appear to like spot check in different areas. So what would be maybe something that you're looking at to try to like hone in that teachers are being mentored weekly or supervised in the amount of time that is required? Because that seemed to be the overall theme.
Are you talking specific to induction or their preliminary programs?
It's across the board. It was
Okay.
across the board
Okay.
thematically. I saw it was like clinical practice supervision and just in the assurances that at time I saw it like dropped in. I want to say 3 or 4 different areas, and I can't remember which one. I didn't write them down, but it seemed like it was thematic.
William, is it okay if I take this one?
Yes.
Okay.
You do, Carrie.
So I heard your voice. I wasn't so sure. So for induction, it was how we track the mentor hours. So as a program, we do it a little bit holistically in the sense that it's embedded in the ILP and it's embedded in surveys. And we needed to show it more clearly, like on a tracking doc, like, yes, this is met before we make the recommends. So that will be fixed and it was being done, but just not wasn't shown clearly. It could have been shown better. So that was our fix for that one. And then as far as the intern programs go, it was more about the observations during clinical practice and making sure that there were 6 formal observations, that the evaluations were being done, that the TPEs were being met and evaluated on across all of our intern programs. And so once again, we had that documented, but not clearly enough or consistently enough. So it was being done, but it could be better. And so that's what we have gone back and revised that documentation so that when we do have our revisit or review, we can show the updates and that it is being done, that's like clear and consistent, and that a stranger walking in could look at our documentation and see that we're meeting all the standards. Does that answer you?
That's perfect. I love what you just closed with. From an outside lens, it's not there, but it's being done. So how do you clarify that from an outside lens? So I appreciate that you're attuned to that part of the continuous improvement process.
Member Bryant.
Thank you. So, part of my discussion was going to be that big shocker. So I'd like to express my appreciation for the fact that, again, those systems were in place. It's about making them visible to people from outside of your system, which is not unusual, right? We're working hard, we're getting things done, and then it's about making information accessible to people who aren't living in the bubble all the time. The other piece I would like to say is you have a lot of programs. You have a lot of partners. It's very clear in reading all of this. You have a lot going on. And I just want to really express appreciation for everything you're doing really well. It's super clear that you are running programs that are making a tremendous amount of impact in and throughout your community. And so this process is just about helping you communicate that internally, externally, and throughout. And then I'm just going to go back to precondition 1, which is something that's on our agenda anyway to discuss, and my own personal nemesis from my site visit as well. So I understand as the the feelings that you probably went through, but I think this is another place where I want you to know that it also provides an opportunity for communication and articulation with your partners in a way moving forward that maybe hadn't been experienced before as well. So thank you for all you're doing. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? This is an action item. Do I have a motion? And it was accreditation with stipulations?
The removal of, I'll make a motion. Because I think the clarification is to, I'd like to move to approve the recommendation accreditation site visit team with the stipulations removing precondition 1 as it determined that it was shared that that part's already been met. So the stipulations minus the precondition.
There you go, a second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. All right, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Jones, Mr. Warshaw, Ms. Lilienthal, and Mr. Hattrick. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for all the improvements you're already making.
Thank you for the process. Have a wonderful day.
Does our committee member, do you need a 5-minute stretch break? Okay, I see. No. So we're gonna come back.
Sorry.
No, 5 to 11, we'll come back. And so for our teams out there, we're just taking a quick stretch break. And is our appreciation to Bakersfield City School District, because you're patient with us needing a quick stretch break. So gratitude to you for giving us a few minutes, and thank you also for your patience. Item 11 is their accreditation site visit with consultant Christina Najarro. Introducing this item and joining her today is team lead Karen Rock and institutional representatives Valerie Saylor, coordinator of new teacher development, and Mike Havens, executive director of new teacher development. Does anyone need to recuse themselves on this item? Member Bryant? Right, and Ms. Najarro, if you could please begin.
Thank you. Good morning and happy Friday Eve, committee members. It is a pleasure to be here this morning to report on the virtual site visit to Bakersfield City School District, which took place October 27 to 29 of last year for their teacher induction program. The visit proceeded in accordance with all normal protocols, and the team interviewed 193 individuals. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the hard work and the professionalism of the visit team members, John Arrett and Michelle Schofstall, whose review of the evidence leading up to and during the visit made for a well-informed and unanimous decision during team deliberations. The team's organization, communication, and focus, along with the outstanding leadership and guidance of team lead Karen Rock, led to a thorough review of Bakersfield City School District's outstanding and standards-based program. I would also like to thank and recognize the extraordinary work of Valerie Saylor, the new teacher development coordinator, and the department executive director, Mike Havens, as well as their team of amazing program specialists, Yolanda, Ruth, Jessica, and Gabe. As we all know, preparing for a site visit is quite a heavy lift. It was a pleasure working with this team as they prepared and hosted the team and watching them provide their top tier support and guidance for participants in their program. I'd like to now welcome Karen, who will share the team's findings.
Great. Thank you, Christina. Good morning, committee members. I would also like to thank our CTC review team, John and Michelle, for their time and careful consideration while making all the recommendations. I want to thank Christina for helping to coordinate everything before, during, and after the visit, which contributed to a smooth visit. Lastly, a huge thanks to the Bakersfield City School District accreditation team for all the work they put into the accreditation process. They were welcoming and easy to work with. They were always willing to gather or share any evidence or parts of their program when asked. And a special thanks to Valerie Saylor for being our point of contact during the visit. She was responsive, helpful, and very thorough in their work.
Our visit to the Bakersfield City School District went very smoothly. From the start, it was clear that the district places a strong emphasis on creating a welcoming and inclusive environment for all. This sense of belonging and community was consistent throughout our interviews and conversations with candidates, mentors, and district leadership. The induction program is clearly a valued and integral part of the district. It enjoys strong district level support, both in resources and leadership commitment. The program also benefits from strong partnerships with community agencies and local institutions of higher education. There is a high level of collaboration and communication among all constituents, ensuring that candidates receive the best possible preparation and ongoing support. Across all groups, candidates, mentors, site administrators, and district leaders, we consistently heard appreciation for the program. New teachers described the experience as purposeful, reflective, and supportive. The program structures allowed them to grow professionally while feeling guided every step of the way. One of the program's notable strengths is its ongoing use of data. The team continually collects, reviews, and acts on feedback to refine and strengthen the program. This culture of reflection and continuous improvement is clearly embedded at every level. There are well-defined systems of support for all new teachers, ensuring that no one feels isolated or overwhelmed. Teachers spoke about how the program has helped them build confidence and competence in their practice, preparing them to be strong educational professionals who are ready to meet the needs of their students. In summary, Bakersfield City School District's induction program demonstrates a robust, collaborative, and data-informed approach to teacher development. Based on the evidence gathered during the visit, we would recommend full accreditation for the BCSD induction program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we invite institutional representatives to briefly comment about the visit. We remind you that this is not a time to dispute the team's report, but rather to provide any thoughts you have about the visit.
Morning, committee members. I want to start by saying this process of the accreditation site visit is truly valuable. We know what we do every day, but having others review our evidence is a powerful process as part of our continuous improvement and ongoing reflection. I'd like to thank Christina, who is an amazing consultant, meeting with us monthly during the lead up to the visit. She asked meaningful, reflective questions, helped us with logistics, and ensured that we were very well prepared for a successful visit. I'd like to thank the whole team, led by Karen Rock. The team was positive, professional, and conducted a very thorough exploration of how our program meets the standards. Many mentors, candidates, and other partners who were interviewed commented after the visit that the team made them feel comfortable, and they felt that they were very able to share their experiences with our induction program. Finally, I'd like to thank the team here in new teacher development at Bakersfield City School District. I believe it was clearly evidenced during this visit how much our team, led by Executive Director Mike Havens, truly cares about mentors, candidates, and all the other colleagues we work with on a daily basis, and that we continuously ground ourselves in how to improve our outcomes for the students that are in our classrooms. So thank you all.
And good morning, committee members. I just want to echo what Valerie had said too. Want to give a shout out to Christina and her assistance as a consultant. She was a wonderful consultant for us, and also the site visit team led by Karen. It was a wonderful experience. And for me personally, I have been with new teacher development for 6 years. So this was my first go around, and it was a wonderful experience. I appreciate all of the input and feedback, allowing us to refine and reflect and to continue to grow. And lastly, just a shout out to Valerie, who really was not only the point of contact, but really did lead this work, as well as the team members, Yolanda and Gabe and Ruth and Jess. They are a wonderful team to work with, and I'm truly blessed to be able to be a part of this team. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And do we have any public comment on this item?
Public comment.
This is now an opportunity for our committee members. Any questions you have for the institution? I took note on a couple of things, and you said something earlier, Valerie, is like a lot of hard work goes into this, and to have a third party come in and affirm what you're doing. I hope you're coming into this meeting today, head held high and proud, because things in the report I just wrote down stands out as a model for what happens when thoughtful leadership, reflective practice, and continuous improvement come together. Highlight that, keep it somewhere handy, because you want to go back to that on your hardest day to know that you're making a difference. That's just what I want you to remember, is that don't leave that statement behind. It's a powerful statement.
Thank you so much.
This is an action item if anyone wants to make a motion. We have Member Hillis.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the recommendation for accreditation for Bakersfield City School District's induction program.
You have a second? Member Sykes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Congratulations on the full accreditation. You have a lot to be proud of. Thank you for your hard work in the community you serve.
All right. Item 12 is the discussion of the first quarterly report for the Los Angeles Pacific University. Consultant William Hattrick will present this item. He is joined by institutional representative Gordon Jorgensen, assistant dean. Does anyone need to recuse themselves? Mr. Hattrick, will you begin, please?
Yes, good morning again, committee members. Agenda item 12 presents the information from the first quarterly report submitted by Los Angeles Pacific University. Their provisional site visit was held last October, and they were granted accreditation with major stipulations. Information and evidence was submitted to CTC staff earlier this month related to each stipulation, which is summarized for you in the agenda item. Since the site visit, a new full-time faculty position was filled, and a second credential analyst has been added to the program staff. New surveys and evaluation forms have been developed and are being operationalized this year. As of December, LAPU has met all requirements for the SB 488 literacy certification process, and they're continuing to update their multiple subject TPE matrix for full alignment. Commission staff will continue to work with the program to ensure that all district employed supervisors receive the 10 hours of training as required by the standards. And the next quarterly report will be presented at the COA's April meeting, and then they have a focused revisit, which will be held later this year. That's it for me.
All right, we now invite the institutional representative to briefly comment about the report. Good morning.
Oh,
Can't hear you.
he's muted. There you
Yeah,
go.
good. Sorry about that. I thought somebody would unmute me, but that's okay. Good morning. I think the thing that sticks out the most in my mind is how much appreciation I have for William and his guidance and help as a consultant. We would not be able to respond the way that we have without his help and leadership. So I just want to say how much I appreciate that. Also done some work with Barbara Howard, who was on our visit team, to get some suggestions and help for our approach to continuous improvement. She's been a big help. And Jake and Tim on our monthly meetings that we have for multiple subject have been super helpful too. I appreciate them. It's been a really busy and crazy but amazing experience. I'm really excited by the direction that we're going. I think we're headed in the right direction. I feel really good about it. The only thing that's been kind of an upsetting thing for us internally as an institution is we recently lost our chief academic officer to a battle with pancreatic cancer. So that's still kind of heavy for us as an institution. We're small, so it's almost like a family, but we're working through it. Yeah.
Very sorry for your loss.
Appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Do we have any public comments for this item?
No public comments.
All right. Are there any questions or comments for committee members? Yes, Mr. Hillis.
Yeah, I've enjoyed looking at some of the different pieces of data that you're wanting to grab now and setting up some different approaches to that. I'm also curious though, in the midst of that, how do you envision kind of closing that loop? I know you state that you talk about then we'll use that data for program improvement, but I'm curious if you've started thinking through like how you'll systematize that process with that data.
Yeah, actually, Barbara's been really helpful for us to think about that and plan it out, schedule it through the year so that we can bring the different constituents groups together to evaluate the results of the data. I think that it's still a little bit new for us because we've only been collecting it for a couple of months now. But I think more than anything, she's helped us conceptualize where the different pieces of evidence need to come from so that when we do get together with the different constituent groups to assess the data, we'll have a really clear picture of what things are working well and what things need to be improved.
Great, thanks.
I have a question. I noticed that you have several new surveys and evaluation forms, and it mentioned that you were working together with your coaching supervisor, the credential analyst, your program development coordinator, the Cal TPA coordinator, and yourself. Once you have created that and it doesn't say how those are being deployed or what you're going to do with the data, what data, collection, how are you going to actually use that for program improvement?
Much like I just mentioned, once we get the survey data, which we have a little bit of now, but as it continues to come in, we will meet with different groups to take a look at the data, see what it's saying to us, and then determine where the improvements need to be made for the program or where the affirmations maybe need to be addressed in the program. None of this is really rocket science to us. It's just a matter of collecting the data, evaluating the data, and doing the work to make program improvements where they need to be made.
Thank you. Yes.
Kind of an add-on, probably in the spirit of member Hillis and member Chair. The data point is important, and I commend you. Like that's like huge. You're going out there, you're surveying. I think you were working with Hope International University, so you're looking at with other universities. In the process, though, I would encourage you probably not to pause on action while waiting for data. And I think that's kind of the spirit of what I'm seeing here, because you have to provide, as an example, 10 hours of support to those people who are going to be supervising. Well, they're already supervising. They're in the field. They're acting right now. So the survey you sent out, like what training do you need? What support do you need? I commend you because it's kind of like two hats, right? We're asking you to create data and show that, but we're also asking you to use data, but don't also pause on doing something now. So kind of my wondering question is, what is the current action? Because you still have supervisors out there who are supervising, who need those 10 hours while you're waiting for data. Like, what's that gap fill happening? Like, what's happening in the meantime while you're getting data?
Yeah, for that particular group, the survey that we pushed out assessed what type of training they already have in the different domains, and then if there are gaps and they need additional training in specific areas, we're working with CCTE. We have the different course or program development modules that we send out to any of the master teachers that need to fill gaps on that training.
Maybe what might be good for us to hear the next report out is from the what you will be doing to what you are doing. And maybe it's just my own perspective, but I didn't really see what's happening because there should be, even if it's going to be evolved in time, current supervisors should still have 10 hours. And maybe you're going to evolve that training in time based upon data, but they still need to have the 10 hours now. That has to be in place. So maybe at the next report out is like, okay, we just ran with this and we're doing this now, and we're going to evolve it in time based upon data. But I would encourage you not to limit action while waiting for data. And I don't know if that's Member Hillis, I see you nodding. Do you want to, am I saying it and kind of an extension of what I think you're asking?
Yeah, I think the reality, that we all know in programs is there's tons of data that we can grab. And it surrounds us in a lot of ways. And usually the biggest challenge is actually figuring out what we're going to do with that data. And so I think it's taking that step to say, now that we got this piece of data from, this point, what's it saying to us right now? And how do you actually work that into just like a continuous improvement, like at a faculty meeting, at an advisory board meeting, at a, whatever it is, so it just becomes part of your ongoing conversation.
Yeah, appreciate that.
All right, are there any other questions or concerns, comments from committee members? All right, this is an action item. Do I have a motion to accept the report?
I move to accept the report.
Thank you, Member Hall. Do I have a second? Member Hillis, I saw first. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. All right, motion carries. Thank you, Miss Paz, Miss Domingo, Miss, wait, where, yeah. Why is that on there? Mr. Hattrick and Mr. Jorgensen, thank you. Appreciate all you're doing and the steps that you are taking to improve your programs.
Thank you all. Appreciate it very much.
As we move to item number 13, I want to thank all of our institutions. We are 2 minutes ahead, even with a break. So lunch is in the forecast, and the item number 13 is a discussion of action to address stipulations by Alliant University. We have consultant Dr. Sarah Solari Colombini who will present this item. She's joined by institutional representatives, Dr. Denver Fowler, who's the Dean of the California School of Education, the Dr. Ruth Best, who's the Assistant Dean of the Alliant School of Education. Are they both Alliant School of Education? Or so I once said California School of Education. I'm assuming they're both from Alliant.
Yes, they're both from Alliant.
Okay, excellent. So both from Alliant School of Education. On this item, do we have anyone that needs to recuse themselves? Nobody. So good morning, Dr. Solari Colombini.
Morning. Okay, so happy to be here. This agenda item presents the report of actions taken by Alliant International University to address the remaining stipulations from the Commission's accreditation decision. So just a brief background, Alliant hosted an accreditation site visit in April of 2024. And then in June of 2024, the committee granted the institution accreditation with major stipulations, issuing 10 stipulations that required follow-up evidence. So a mid-year report was then submitted and reviewed in February of 2025. And then in March of 2025, there was a revisit. And at that revisit, the accreditation team did confirm significant progress. In fact, the committee this committee removed 8 of the 10 stipulations and changed Alliant's status from accreditation with major stipulations to accreditation with stipulations. So 2 stipulations remained relating to first, the candidate's ability to articulate effective systems of support that promote retention and success. And then second, the evaluation and systematic two-way communication between the program and district employed supervisors. So to verify resolution of these remaining concerns, focused interviews were conducted December 4th and 5th. The focused interview team, which consisted of Edmundo Litton, and I assisted with note-taking and some interview conduction as well. We reviewed the documentation that was presented as well as interviewed constituents. And we conducted 103 interviews, including 42 candidates and 59 district employed supervisors and institutional leadership. We interviewed them as well. So based on this review, the team reached a unanimous recommendation of accreditation with removal of all remaining stipulations. For the first stipulation, evidence did confirm that Alliant has strengthened candidate support through enhanced onboarding, clear communication of resources, embedded new student orientation modules, responsive faculty support, and the creation of student advisory boards across all their credential programs. And then for the second stipulation, Alliant has implemented systematic supervisor engagement through the hiring of 5 district liaisons, communication with district employed supervisors, structured orientations and handbooks, and the use of surveys within their learning management system to gather feedback and evaluate supervisory effectiveness. So in summary, the focused interview team concluded that Alliant has implemented sustainable structures that fully address the remaining stipulations and align with the commission's standards. So the recommendation before the committee is to remove all stipulations and grant Alliant International University with an accreditation with a status of accreditation. Thank you. And so both the dean and the assistant dean are here just in case you had some questions. I know I told them that we were on a short timeline and not to have anything prepared, that just to be ready to respond.
Thank you, Solari. Dr. Solari Colombini, we'll give you a moment. If you want, if you could just share anything briefly you'd like, we're more than happy to listen for a moment.
Yeah, just good morning, everyone. Just want to take a moment to thank the site visit team for coming and conducting the focus interviews and providing their feedback and recommendation. Also just want to, give a shout out to Sarah and Edmundo. They've been wonderful to work with throughout the process. And of course, we're going to continue to have a continuous growth mindset in all that we do. But we, again, value their feedback from the most recent visit and their recommendation.
Thank you so much. And Dr. Best, I saw you unmuted a second ago. Did you want to add on?
Yeah, actually, we were going to do the same thing. I was going to thank Edmundo and Sarah. Actually, both of them have been working with us since over the last year and a half. So big thank you to the work that they've done. And we do appreciate all the feedback from them as well as you, the commission.
Thank you so much. Now is the opportunity. Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
No public comments on this item. So now it's opportunity for questions or comments from our committee. Member Bryant.
So thank you for the hard work that you've clearly put in to make change in your organization in response to these visits and this accreditation process. I'm curious, as you've gone through this process in the last year and a half, as you move forward, what you will take from this to ensure that you have systems in place to manage these ongoing processes for your students.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the things that we've implemented, we're going to continue to implement and monitor and make sure they're going well. I think my short answer would be that we're going to be more proactive than reactive. And so, we're trying to think of anything and everything we can to keep our programs efficient, and that there's a good experience for our candidates. And we're going to continue to work on that, with the feedback that's been given so far and in the past. But in sum, just to be proactive with the next visit versus reactive.
We have Member Hallis.
Yeah, again, thank you for the hard work. I'm curious to hear more about the 5 district liaisons, and I'm curious, do they represent, let's say, one program? So there's a liaison for mild to moderate reaching out to all of those different districts, or does a liaison represent all the programs to speak to maybe one setting or district or site?
Yeah, it's a great question. We have 5 district liaisons. We have 2 for the Department of Teacher Education. We have 1 for the Department of School Psychology, 1 for the Department of School Counseling, and 1 for the Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Studies. So they're pretty much broken out by departments. We do have 3 departments within TED: single subject, multiple subject, special education, but we have 2 individuals to support those 3 programs.
This is also a action item. If there's no more comments or questions, there's also opportunity for a motion. Member Hall.
I'll make a motion to accept the report for Alliant International University.
Excellent. And do we have a second? We have Member Sykes. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Congratulations to your university on successfully navigating their revisit and full accreditation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Fowler, Dr. Best, and Dr. Solari Colombini. As we transition to the next item, for Aaron and Cheryl, we might be able to do staff reports before lunch if there's any staff that need to be available after our next report.
Here.
Okay, excellent. So we're right on time. Thank you.
All right. Item 14. Item 14 is the report of the accreditation site visit team to San Juan Unified School District. Consultant Hart Boyd will present this item. Joining him today is team lead Rick Biscocho, thank you, and institutional representatives Nicole Kukral, Director, Professional Learning and Curriculum Innovation, Barry Roth, President, San Juan Teachers Association, and Kate Petrone, Lead Consulting Teacher, Center for Teacher Support. Does anyone need to recuse themselves? No? All right, Mr. Boyd, will you begin, please?
Thank you. San Juan Unified School District site visit took place from October 27th through the 29th, 2025. The site visit was conducted virtually rather than in person, and a total of 133 interviews were completed with various constituencies. And the site visit proceeded in accordance with all normal accreditation protocols. The induction team at San Juan USD was great to work with, and they were all extremely thorough and thoughtful in their preparation for the visit. Joining us today are the representatives just mentioned, and also joining us today is the site visits team lead, Mr. Rick Biscocho. Rick was fantastic to work with and was a very knowledgeable and thoughtful leader throughout the process. I would also like to thank team members Denise Duell and Patricia Childs for contributing their time and expertise to the visit. Stop now and turn it over to Rick, who will present the findings and the team's accreditation recommendation.
Thank you so much. I want to just say that it is not uncommon to have the big pause after Rick. So I'm okay with that.
Well, it's no worse than Boganovich. So
That's right. I do want to just show my appreciation not only to San Juan Unified School District, but also to Hart and the leadership that he provided. I really could not have asked for a better team. They are organized. They are have wonderful demeanor to work with, and especially efficient. We finished all of that Hart mentioned in a couple of days. We even completed our drafts of all the reports. That's how efficient our team was. But most importantly, I really do appreciate the leadership from the San Juan Unified School District, which they call the Center of Teacher Support. And I think that is really, really key, that word support. And that's what we saw again and again through our interviews, how the teachers were supported, but they were supported with quality. One of the many ways that the program supports the teachers is how the mentors are utilized in unique ways. And it was highlighted that the first year's teachers are assigned a full release mentor. And then in the second year, they are assigned a site mentor. And during the interviews, it became very clear how effective this model of mentoring is for the San Juan Unified School District. Another highlight is the unified system of support that their leadership is providing, not only for the leadership team, which they call the governance panel, but also the mentors and the teachers. If you can think of that circular flow chart, it's continuous rather than fragmented. And we saw that time and time again. From the interviews to the documentation, we verified intentional support of continuous growth and commitment to the teaching profession as a whole. And so, based on a thorough review of the institutional and programmatic information and materials available prior to and during the accreditation site visit, including interviews with candidates, the program completers, the personnel, the mentors, the coaches, and other constituencies, we are recommending full accreditation for them. And I just want to appreciate this process in not only understanding what other really important and valuable programs are doing, but it's a way for us to take away and see how we can improve our programs as well. So much appreciation to this process, but most importantly, congratulations, San Juan Unified.
Thank you so much. We now invite the institutional representatives to briefly comment about the visit. We want to remind you that this is not time to dispute the team's report, but rather provide any thoughts you had about the visit. So welcome and good morning.
Thank you so much. I think one of the things that Barry and I just want to extend is our appreciation for both Rick and Hart. Hart guided us through this process seamlessly. We felt supported. We felt like his support and leadership was helpful in making the visit smooth. And of course, Rick and the entire team during the visit, they were all very pleasant, helpful, kind. And we appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for helping us through this process. Barry, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, just a quick add, and exactly what Nicole shared, but Rick, your team asked such great questions too. And this process, I mean, we're very proud of your recommendation, but it's still a growth opportunity. And so the way your team approached it allows us to think deeply about the program and how to take that to the next level. And then we're very proud of Kate, her leadership, and all of the team that supports our new teachers. They are tireless workers, and we're just so proud to have them, and their dedication is remarkable. So thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any public comments for this item?
No public comments.
All right. Are there any comments or questions from the committee members? This is an action item. Do I have a motion to accept the report? Thank you, Member Leggett. Do I have a second? All right, Member Hall. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. All right, the motion carries. Congratulations on your full accreditation, and thank you so much for being here. And the teacher support that you guys have is amazing, and we really appreciate that in the field because we don't often see that. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we're going to move on to staff reports, and I think we are going. Miranda, you're going to lead us off, if I remember correctly.
It was so long ago.
Thank you.